Okay, so how did you learn about Zashka?
I googled it.
You googled it?
I
What were you
googled
searching about?
eco community Slovakia.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And what was the point? Like, you wanted to come to a community somewhere in Europe, or why Slovakia?
I just had a feeling to come to Slovakia. I was in the Czech Republic, and I didn't want to go so far away, and we kind of. I used to live in one community in the Czech Republic, like really small one.
How is it called?
Doesn't really have a name.
Okay, so
We
it's
called
like
it
small.
Zamek Štyrži, like Zamek, like evil,
Zamak, yeah.
because it was on the grounds of a castle. And Štyrži, like it was the number of the house. Four.
Four. Yeah.
Štyrži.
4.
Yeah. And that community kind of transformed into not so much a community. There. Okay. Yeah, and I think together with František, we wanted to find another community, and just seemed like simple to go to Slovakia. Because we knew that we hadn't heard of really anything else in the Czech Republic. Maybe we heard of one or two others, but it wasn't like something that seemed to fit. So yeah, I googled it and I found Sakier. It's like the oldest this kind of community
In Slovakia.
In Slovakia, but actually for quite a region, it's the oldest. And yeah, as soon as I read about it, I just felt like it will be a good place for us. We should go there. Let's go.
What were the criteria? Because you said this seemed to fit like others.
I don't know. I don't know. It's more like an impression I got or a feeling. I don't know if I had it that clear, like with myself, exactly what I was looking for, or maybe I did it on a more subconscious level. But when I read about the place here, I just had a good feeling about it.
Great. And then what, you packed and you came? Simply, or you spoke to someone and for exact period? And
no, we just showed up. We didn't write to anyone. We just came. Really suddenly, like hello,
we want to stay.
Yeah, just more like, how's it going? What's happening? Do you need some help around? Because we had we were sleeping in the caravan, so we didn't need like a place to sleep, or we had our own food, and there's like a kitchen and
How did you see like your caravan? Because you said camper, no? I was imagining camper all the time.
Camper?
Yeah.
What's the difference for you?
Caravan, you cannot drive, and the camper has
okay, yeah. You can. It's a van. You can drive it. Yeah. So yeah, we were kind of more independent, so we felt like even if they say no, we
can park here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great. And what did you find here?
Yeah, a lot of people preparing for a festival.
So it was what, June?
Yeah, beginning of June. Maybe we came
June 2009.
2019. Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Like we came like 2 or 3 weeks before the big like summer solstice festival that they have.
Yeah.
And everyone thought that we came to help like prepare for the festival, because a lot of volunteers come to help like prepare for this festival. But actually we had never heard of it before, but it was good timing because they really needed like extra help during this period. So.
And what is the help about? Like what? How did you help?
Yeah, the biggest job was to this meadow here was covered in like really high grass, and then they cut it to make the hay.
Really? Wow.
And when we came, they had already cut it, and the hay was like drying, and then it started the job to collect all the hay. And this is a really big job. Because you see how big the meadow is, and also like up there, and also down there and down. And we collected it all, just like raking it, and putting it in the back of the truck, in like the trailer, and then we had to take it there into the barn and put it up top. So this took a week. It took maybe a week.
How many people?
Oh, maybe 6.
No, like it wasn't 20. Because I imagined like many volunteers already who already came.
No, we were quite like earlier. There were just kind of like the normal people and one other couple who were exploring the communities around Europe. So
And
like,
here it was Mary, Cesar,
Jože,
Jože.
this other couple, they were
This other
Simon
couple.
and Jean, František and I, and Eponine.
And these two?
No,
No.
they don't. They're not like involved in the daily life here.
Yeah. As far as
And also Ella is not really involved in the daily life so much. So she also wasn't helping with that.
Okay, so what were your expectations about Zayeshka?
I had none. This is the beautiful thing about when you like kind of just show up somewhere without really planning too much, or without that you can really come, like, at least for me, like with really like open mind and open eyes and open heart, and just take it as it comes, take what comes. So I don't know.
So you didn't encounter like some problems, some expectations that don't match, and here it's not what we expected. Or you did?
No, not like this. Maybe like definitely there are always like problems, I think, when you have this many people trying to live and work together in a limited space. But the problems were maybe for me more like personal, like some personality clashes or conflicts in this way. Maybe not in the beginning, but over time I would have liked or would have expected that everything would be more organized and maybe the communication a bit clearer. And to this day, I feel like that it could be a lot more organized. Just everything from daily life stuff to the bigger like workshops and events that they have here. It seems to me that like the people coordinating it, the things, a lot of them don't actually like live here. So there's just a lot of the time like miscommunication or kind of unclear or communication, and then because of that you just run into some problems that could have been avoided by just clearer communication or something like this.
And how is everyday life going on here? Like not at festival time, normal for you?
Well, this also seems to change all the time. Because like there are always different people here, and so for example, I wasn't here much in July. No, I don't remember why I had to go somewhere.
You were driving somewhere.
The Czech Republic, I guess. That's right. My parents came to visit. That's why
in Czech.
Yeah. So we were there with my parents in the Czech Republic. But then in August I was here most of the month, and there was hardly anyone here. It was so quiet.
Really?
Yeah, everyone was away, kind of on holiday or visiting someone, and we were usually just like 3 people here.
And no volunteers appearing out of nowhere?
Not really. Now there are a lot more people than there were back then.
And who manages the volunteers who come and the daily schedule and so on?
People who want to come here, usually like Zdenka is kind of managing the bookings for Pastieren, because people come to rent that, or she usually is the one.
Pastier is what, this cottage like
up the hill, not the one up, but the one to the right. Maybe you don't see it unless you walk. Yes. So Eponine is kind of in charge of like the EVS volunteers, like she's their like kind of coordinator, and Zdenka is like their mentor, and she also manages the like bookings and people who want to come here. And,
just for tourism, like bookings,
like like bookings for Pastieren, and like if some volunteer comes, usually she sends the message like someone wants to come for these days, is it okay, or like this.
And what's the role of Petio?
Petio was doing like technical support, technical stuff. Oh, sorry.
Don't worry.
Do you want to pause it?
So what was it? We were
daily life. Petio was doing
yes, the Petio's role. And what do you mean by technical support?
Like maintenance. They call it like technical support. for. I'm not sure why, because that makes me think of like technology, you know. But he was doing, or is still doing, like this practical stuff, like building the stuff with like the wells and the water and the pipes, and building things, repairing things, building the sauna, you know. All these kinds of things are like his responsibility.
Yeah. Okay,
But
and
he's also like the unofficial like leader in
because as I feel it, he is the unofficial leader. But on the other hand, also like people aren't into his ideas exactly, and it's a bit. They don't have this. Seeing him as really the figure that they should ask.
Because he also doesn't like really take that role. Like, he won't say it, you know. He wouldn't say I'm baby. He would say like together.
Yeah, which is for the community purpose.
More like that.
Okay.
Yeah. But at the same time, then he acts like a leader. Sometimes it's just, for me, something a bit unclear, the distinction in the roles.
Yeah, this is why I'm asking like all the people in order to see whether someone sees something different. But answers are more or less the same. Yeah.
Is that even a band?
That's even a band. But it can serve as one. Yeah. Okay, and when you came,
is it recording?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
You were living in Sekir, and then you moved to Podsekir.
No, I was never living here. I always stayed in my car to save money.
Okay.
Yeah, this is just to save money.
Yes, because František told me that he rented, or not rented, I don't know, like this house in Podsekir.
Yeah.
And I thought that because you came together, like you somehow share the life in the house.
No, because we like broke up while we were here. So things change.
Yeah, but like this, in some situations, doesn't mean that you stop like sharing the space.
Yeah, that's true. But no, he got to speak for himself, and I've been in my car.
And now you're searching for a house here?
No, not really. We agreed like in August or something that I would take Marie's room when she left. Yeah.
Because for you, like you're planning to spend here the winter.
Yeah, most of the time.
And then go to the Bears again or no?
I don't know.
Cool. You also have to go to Zeeland, so things are getting complicated now.
So many communities to visit.
Okay, and back then when you were living in America, you used to live in a village or in a town or in a city?
Oh wow, that's so long.
Yeah, like
I lived in a city, I would say, but not a big city, like a small city. But yeah, I guess it was a city.
So you weren't used to village life?
No.
This is something that you found out, like, if you can tell a bit more about it, like how did you decide to leave the city?
Yeah, I didn't ever consciously, like, at least, in the beginning, I didn't consciously decide in the city. It wasn't like that. I decided to travel when I was like 20 years old.
Great.
Like, I just finished university and I wanted to travel.
What were you studying?
I did journalism, like media studies, with focus on
more or less colleagues.
But I never worked in this field. I just really wasn't interested in staying in the States and having this kind of normal job and career. I really just wanted to travel. But my parents really pushed me to get my university degree first, and I was young at the time, so I just followed their advice, and I got my no. I think it's okay.
Yeah, which is okay.
Yeah,
actually.
Yeah. So I got my degree, and then pretty much left right after that to travel. And I didn't have much money. Actually, I had like no money. I sold my car to get the money for traveling and bought a one-way ticket to Italy when I was 20.
Because this was your dream, or you had someone there?
I didn't have anyone there. No, I think a lot of Americans like have a nice like romantic picture of Italy, and it's like a common place they want to go. So, and I needed to find some kind of way to like volunteering like became the way for me to travel for on a budget.
Yeah. It was what, 2010, something like this?
2009.
Yeah. Great. So
Spring
10 years of traveling.
Yeah, more than 10 now.
Yeah.
And I ended at a place. I ended always with these kind of volunteering things. I don't know if it was conscious or unconscious, maybe more unconscious, but I ended up in some kind of nature setting or some kind of farm or something like this. But I lived in cities also for a long time. I lived in the UK for like 2 years, 2.5, 3 years.
In London? No?
In Cardiff. It's not a big city, but it's the capital of Wales.
You lived, yeah.
And I lived in I went back for a while to live in San Francisco just for maybe about a year. I've lived in like cities, and I was in Austria in cities. I was many times in cities until I was 26. I had this big epiphany while I was in Turkey that I didn't want to live in cities anymore. So after 26, I had it conscious.
Yes. Okay. So if you can discuss about the good sides and the bad sides of civic life, like what are they for you?
City life?
Yeah, city life.
I think it's something nice about cities is like the culture, and you have a lot of diversity in like a concentrated space. So you get these like different ideas and different people. This makes for like interesting like combinations and like cultural events are nice, like the theater and concerts and art.
Do you miss them here?
Yeah, sometimes.
Yes. I'm imagining that if I'm living all of the time like this, I will get crazy because like from time to time people need like to have some cultural experience, like not only speaking or reading books, but
like some theater or some music or some art shows. But I mean, I do when I go to a city, I like to go to these places and do them.
How often do you go to a city now?
Somewhat regularly because I'm often busking in cities. Like we can't really busk in the countryside, so I've been in Bratislava somewhat regularly since I came here.
Like almost every month or every week?
No, like maybe twice a month.
Twice a month
period
is fine.
Of time. Some like half a week or something.
Like you check some things that you want to visit and...
I'm usually not that organized.
Just go and see what's around.
Yeah, just go and maybe visit some people, play some music and
Great. And regarding the good sides, some people speak about like more comfortable life. What do you think about this?
Yeah, that's not so much a priority for me. The only thing that I really miss sometimes is hot running water. I think it's the greatest luxury
this is
of modern civilization. Forget about Wi-Fi. Hot running water is amazing.
We already have mobile network, so it's fine, but hot water we don't have.
Yeah, this is sometimes I miss having this hot shower.
And here you have your showers in the camper? Oh.
No, I don't have a shower there. So I shower here, or there's a neighbor in Podzakir who lets me shower in their house.
For free?
Yeah. Nice people around.
Yeah.
So the comfort, it's generally not a thing. Just the hot shower, would be nice once a week to have a guarantee.
And also, the more perspectives for work in the city. This is also like what other people said.
Yeah, it's also for me not not a big priority.
So now you are working something remotely, or you don't?
Yeah, I have an online job.
What's it?
I write content for students who are studying English as a second language.
Students, you mean
someone hires me to write
material great.
For the students. So right now I'm
like academic ghostwriting.
Yeah, like academic ghostwriting. Right now my client is in Japan, and I'm writing exams for students, like lots of so many. I can't. They really want a lot, and just at different levels, for students.
But just because I'm curious, like it's apart from the interview, but like on what topics?
They give me like a kind of template, like something like to follow, and I should just more or less copy. So, for example, they have like this is your They have like a listening exercises, and there's just like a lot of dialogues between people, like short dialogues. And I should no, they will record. I write the dialogues like between the people and some comprehension question based on the dialogue, and then they will like record it, and the students will.
And the students will have the exam on that. Well, no, I imagined more like, for example, some student has some task for homework, and you make the task.
No, I'm just making like the proper like full exams. So like listening comprehension, reading comprehension.
Yeah, because they need native speaker to
write it in a natural way.
Very great.
And, I think the most challenging thing is to write it at an appropriate level, because you have
because not too high.
Yeah, to make it like the appropriate, just challenging enough, but not too challenging. But it's cool.
And regarding bad sides of city life,
pollution of every kind.
For you, I mean,
for
like,
me,
not general.
Yeah, for me, this I feel like I'm kind of sensitive, like, or I have sensitive senses. So for me, it's so loud in the city. Like, it really like somehow like
for me too.
Stresses me at some point, like all the noise and
background noise.
And the like visual pollution. Like there are like advertisements everywhere. Like I feel constantly like confronted, like something I should buy, something I should eat, or something I should buy to make myself look better, something I should put on my face to make myself look younger, or this like all these advertisements is so really like annoying me after a while.
Do you consider that some of them we took unconsciously?
I think so.
Took unconsciously?
I think so, because I feel like how I more conscious of my appearance, for example, when I'm like in the city. I don't know, this also could just be because like people in cities generally are a bit like cleaner and wearing nicer clothes than people in the countryside.
It's a big value for them. Like if you appear with something on your jacket, and they'll be like,
yeah. And the shoes, my goodness, people in the city have such clean shoes. I'm
always
so self-conscious about my shoes. But there's, and then there's also like air pollution from cars, and then visual pollution, noise pollution, light pollution at night. It's so bright in the cities. So these things like affect me, and I feel a bit like constrained sometimes, like just by the like physical constraints of the city, like here, if I have to pee, I can just pee wherever I want, whenever I have to pee.
I love this.
But then in the city, I'm like, fuck, I have to pee. Like, what am I gonna do? Where do I go to pee? Like, should I have to like buy a coffee to pee? No, maybe I can just sneak into the bathroom. No, it's like becomes like this thing. And I also feel like there are like not really that many free spaces in cities, except for libraries. I love libraries.
Yes, me too. I work in libraries.
Oh, that's cool.
I'm freelancing and I can work whenever I want. So I go to the university library. And I'm like,
I also like to work in libraries and also cafes. But like I feel like everywhere you go in the city, you are like your role is to be a consumer. So in order to like be in that space, you should buy something, and this also makes me like, I don't know, I'm a bit depressed. Just I don't know. I'm kind of as much anti-consumerism as possible, and I feel like when you're in the city, it's like, what are you doing if you're not buying something? You're like sitting in your house because.
Yes, like
what can you do?
You're not allowed to do things if you don't consume things.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I like to go out for a beer with people and stuff like that. Like, but at some point, like after a certain period of time, it starts to really weigh on me and to feel heavy on me. Here I can just like take a walk or go pick mushrooms, or I don't know. I can enjoy myself in many ways without being a consumer. But in the city, it's really hard to do this.
Okay, because you said that you are like into anti-consumerism. How can you explain what is anti-consumerism?
I think it's
starting
to
get serious.
Not buying stuff that you don't need, and then when you need something, you try maybe you don't actually have to buy it. Maybe like you could borrow it from someone. Maybe or if you have to buy it, you could buy it secondhand instead of new. And it's just about really reducing the amount of stuff that we accumulate in our lives, and yeah, reducing and reusing.
What is the difference with minimalism then?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe minimalists are more into this. Just it's more about like not having stuff or having only the like basic things for surviving. I don't know, but for me, anti-consumerism, it's more like not like buying stuff.
Okay, and
maybe you make it, or maybe you borrow it, or maybe you.
And what is consumerism?
Buying stuff.
Yeah, but I had a look through the library here, and they have this book about economic growth and consumerism,
like capitalism.
Capitalism in generally, okay, but like there are these levels of capitalism in which it's okay, and like there are levels in which it's like more like.
Because the basic premise of capitalism is that you have to keep like expanding everything. So you have to keep producing more stuff, and then people have to keep. Then the demand has to also increase, and you have to keep like selling more stuff. So you need people to buy more stuff, and it's just like this ever expanding like sea of stuff that actually like no one needs. And yeah, when I go to some like department stores or like shopping centers, I get sometimes really depressed because I just like I take it too too like I don't know, too much too hard or something. But I see like all this stuff for sale that like so for me looks like really unnecessary, and
yeah, and there's many people who are really believing that if they have more money in order to buy more things, it will make more sense. Something like this for me too.
Yeah, this is for me really like not how I want to live. I try to have everything secondhand.
Yeah, so this book was about economic growth, and like you already mentioned that it's what is it economic growth? Like could it maybe it could have some bad sides?
Yeah, I think so. I think we are creating like so much shit, like plastic shit.
Yeah,
you know, there's like the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, like all that plastic floating in the
okay,
ocean.
the English term, yeah, okay, yeah.
Not and the landfills are like overflowing, and I don't know, like we have already like we've made so much stuff already, and I feel like there's very little that we still need to be like making. I don't know.
Okay. Coming back to Zayeshka, I have this question. What makes you feel comfortable here, like in the village, generally in a village?
Like generally
and here, like if there are some differences, you can comment both.
I think it's nice to see like meet the same people, you know, because you can like form some relationships with them and feel yourself like part of a larger group, which I think gives this nice sense of like belonging somewhere, you know. Like,
which in the city you couldn't make, or
it's different. No, it's not like you can have your network of friends, right, and like arrange to meet them. But here, when I just like walk from, for example, from Putzakir to here, then I like know all the people that I pass, and like today I met like one woman. She was like going down in the car, and she was like, "Oh, Claire, when you pass by Robert, could you ask him to check if I turned off the gas because I don't remember, and now we're leaving to the so you know." Then I walk up and I see her husband, and I'm like, oh, and you know, so it's like then you feel like part of this like network or something. I think it's a nice feeling, which like you don't maybe have in the city in your neighborhood or something, but kind of forming more naturally, I think, in villages. There aren't so many people.
Maybe people aren't so open in the city. Like I wouldn't say to you, come to my apartment to check this and this. Like it would be.
Yeah, because there are just more people and more.
Okay, and do you consider staying here for a long time, or you don't know?
How long is like a long
Hey,
time?
well,
some years.
Whatever for you, like some years.
I don't know.
You don't know, yeah. Like you don't plan things.
Yeah,
like,
I don't
okay.
plan it like this. It's more like let's see how things go. You never know what will happen.
Yeah, and you make plans just to, in order for them to change.
Yeah. So
No,
I'm open.
I put this question because like many of the people who were here previously, it appears that they had plans to stay and like really build houses and so on. Then they left.
Yeah.
And this is why like I'm asking like the newcomers. Okay, what are you prognosis? What is your prognosis for the future? Like the near future, of course.
I mean, I'm a really nomadic soul, so I always moving around. But it's nice to have a home base. I think I was like looking for a kind of home base.
And this could be.
This could be, yeah, exactly. And because I have my caravan or my camper van, then it's like it's easier because I can just like carry my home with me. I don't need. Only in the winter I need a space. Like indoors.
And hot water.
Yeah, nice.
What do your family think about this?
Now I think they're used to it. It's been many years that I'm like living this kind of lifestyle, and they think it's interesting. They're not so main. My parents are not really mainstream. They're not alternative like in the same way that I am, but they are also alternative in their own way. So
what do you mean?
Like they're really really not religious, but like they really love God in their own way, and they because of this they want to like serve God in their own way. So they do a lot of missions work.
Like, so they also travel and know.
No, they do it where they live. They live in San Francisco, and there are so many homeless people. So they do a lot of volunteering and missions work with people on the streets and this kind of stuff. Like I don't know, like checking that they are okay and like bringing them some food or like.
Yeah, like just being good and
but they were never like
helpful.
Totally mainstream, my parents, so I don't think they like expected us to be there.
They have been to Zajka?
No.
And what you said yesterday that they're coming, or it wasn't
they
you?
Came in July.
They came in July,
but not here.
Okay. No, yeah, because I mixed maybe.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay, and your friends?
Now, I mean, at this point in my life, most of my friends are living a similar, like, alternative lifestyle.
Yeah.
Because I've been doing similar things like this for almost 10 years, you know?
Yeah, which means that, like, your circle of friends changed and you met and
I have friends
got close.
Like, in so many different places. But yeah, most of them are also, like left the city, or if they are in the city, it's usually they are like artists or musicians or something, and or they live like in nature.
And maybe this is the right place to tell me how you met Stanimir from Zelen.
In the community in Croatia. He was there. He was there like EVS, for like 8 or 9 months. And and I showed up there, and we spent like maybe 2 months.
Because I thought you were like, okay, 1 weekend, 2 weekends, like something like this.
No,
it was
we
were
like
you were living together
for longer. We went on like trips together with the other volunteers. Like we got close. We were like a group of 5 with Stanimir and I, 2 French guys and 1 girl from the Czech Republic, and we somehow like just organically made a really nice team and group, and we just really enjoyed each other's company and did everything together for this like month and a half or something.
Great.
Yeah.
When was that?
This was in February and
this
year.
This year. Oh wow! It sounds to me like 2-3 years ago. Great.
And this is also where I got my dog.
Wow.
Because of Stanimir, I have this dog.
Okay.
Yeah, so
yes,
strong connection between us.
It's a pity that you can't like, but if you want to write him something, like, feel free to do it in the coming 3 days, because like I couldn't put on the plane. I won't be able to put anything.
But
I can Okay. How can you describe your relation to nature? Next question.
Wow, I really love nature.
Don't this is no. I mean, if now we say okay, for 1 month, Claire won't be in nature. Like you will sit somewhere. What?
No, it
What?
would be
How would
terrible.
you
I would
feel?
die.
Like,
I think I would be suffocating.
but what is like so?
I don't know. I just need it to be in nature like every day, every week, at least every half of it, majority of the, almost all the time.
Haven't you
I
had
can
such
just
periods?
take short breaks and go in a city for a few days, and then I need to go back.
But it's
into
like the
nature.
periods of some days, like
Yeah, just days.
yeah.
I don't really. I just feel it's my. I don't know. I actually never thought about it that much. It's just sort of such a natural instinct for me. I guess I feel really like calmer in nature. I don't know, because I think that we are also nature. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
we are also
Part
same,
of
like the trees.
yeah, so we can be excluded.
So when I'm like in this totally man-made stuff, I guess I feel like part of me is like not alive in this place, or like part of me is missing. And I can't. It's almost like, and if it happens for a really long time, I have the feeling that I'm being suffocated. You know? Like you can't breathe, and
this is when you work in the office from 9 till 5, and then you come in the apartment and
I can't. I never had this life, and I can't imagine it. I think I would really die.
You never had? Because
No.
I had like for some small periods, and it's blah.
Yeah, maybe after I finished university, I had something like this.
Actually, this is like the dream of so many people. Like I will have this schedule where I'm in the office, then I'm home, and then I go back to.
No, I think that this is like a prison for me, like a man-made prison that we convinced ourselves, or we let ourselves be convinced that we like needed certain things to be satisfied or content, and especially we needed all of these like comforts and stuff around us to feel secure or to feel satisfied.
Yeah, this is the criteria to feel happy. In order for me to feel happy, I need to have this, and this I can get only through some job, which is like very concrete and very.
But then you end up like, I think in the end, like this is not healthy for anyone, and I think you end up feeling like dissatisfied. So you're always searching for more distractions and like more stuff to consume, like to just feel a bit better about your situation. And, I don't know, it's a trap for me. It's totally a trap.
Okay. On the other hand, is it possible for a young person to live good quality life in a village, according to you?
It really depends on the young person.
Okay, for you, let's say, like you are a young person who is living here, like
yeah, definitely. I would like to go maybe like once a month or once every 2 months to the city, maybe.
And also to buy some things every week, let's say, like chocolate and so on.
Yeah, you can buy a lot of chocolate that would last for 1 month or
something. Also,
I do this sometimes. Sure, like if I plan to come here longer, I would buy some protein stuff and some chocolate and some coffee. Okay, I can stay here for 1 month now.
Okay, and if we slightly change the focus of young people and we turn to teenagers, and children like from, I don't know, 10 to
then
20.
I think it's like really good for them to spend time in the nature.
But all of the time, because like maybe they are starting to miss the city and they're starting to feel excluded.
If they didn't grow up in the city, I don't think they would miss it, because they wouldn't know what it was. Maybe they could have some idea like that what it would be like, and then they could have some like wish to go there.
What it would be like.
But like if you don't have something, you can't miss it. I have myself as an example. Like I grew up without television.
Without television.
My parents, like I told you, they are not so. And many people always say, like, don't you miss, like when I was younger, like, don't you miss having a TV? And you're like, how can I miss it? I never had it. Like, you don't feel, I think you don't feel that something is missing, that if you didn't, like, if you're not used to it. Maybe if you get, for kids who grow up in the village, they could form some idea of the city through what other people say, or if they watch movies or TV like through the images. But
yeah, but like maybe they can reveal like kind of dreaming about like how great is the city and so on.
yeah, maybe. And then I think it's like good if they want to experience it, that they go and try it. I mean, I don't think someone should force themselves to do something they don't want to do. And I think it's like, yeah, good for them to know both. But I don't know, for me, like I wouldn't want to raise my kids in the city with all that, like I told you, this kind of pollution stuff around, and like this consuming stuff, and always worrying about how you look, and I don't know.
And what problems may a parent see and encounter in a village if, well, like regarding raising children?
No, I don't know, because I'm not a parent.
Bless you. People here in Zaječka who has teenage children say like discuss the education and the fact that like okay, someone needs to go every day to Banska Bystrica or I don't know where, and it's far away. And also that when you go to a different place to school, then you have friends there, and like these teenagers start to murmur to their children, "Oh, why are we living here so remote? Come on!" Like something like this maybe possible, and this is why like some of these parents even moved away from Zaječka. Yeah, because it's in the end like they did this for their children.
Yeah, I did hear about that happening with one family here. Like maybe for school, for the kids to go to school.
Yeah. Okay, and do you find the region of Zaječka perspective, like for tourism?
Sorry,
do you find the region of Zaječka perspective, like okay, not only Zaječka, but like maybe for some rural tourism, for even more volunteering? What's the future in a way?
Like what do I imagine the future could hold? I mean, maybe I would like to see this, at least like Sakyar becoming more productive in a way, like to produce something.
Economic growth. I'm joking, but
it's true.
Yeah, but in a way,
yeah, because it's like everything was a kind of trial or experiment, which is cool. Like maybe it is just supposed to be a place for experimenting, and that's totally valid. But it could be nice to have more of a focus also for the volunteers who come, like, okay, here we are, whatever, but really focused on producing the cheese or goat's cheese, for example, or something like this. But it was really not structured, and actually the cheese selling was like my idea, like that was my project, because I saw like Marie was sometimes making cheese, Ella was very rarely making cheese. Like everyone, it was like there was no structure, and I'm like, wait, at one period we had so much milk, and I was like, okay, like let's come on,
let's
like
not throw it away.
Yeah, we were throwing it away, so it was like just to complete the circle. Like, okay, let's have some structure. Let's have regular cheese making every 3 days, because you ideally wouldn't make cheese with milk that's older than 3 days.
Yeah.
And let's make a label. Let's announce that we are selling it, and like let's complete the circle.
Great.
So I'm glad that I'm glad that we did this, just because like it's nice maybe to.
And it's obviously working, because the other day we had like €70 for the last 2 weeks, I think, something like this. It was great.
I think it might be from the beginning.
Maybe from the beginning.
It like 1 month ago.
So you didn't use the money for it?
Well, we were just. I mean, it's for me. Like I don't know.
No, because I thought that you put them in the food bank and something like this.
We weren't sure what to do with the money, because it was like a new thing. Like we never had money before from. No one was selling the cheese before. And then I started actually when Marie was gone, which is I was doing it, like I was helping a bit, and then we immediately like sold all the cheese that we made, like.
Yeah, definitely, because it's like great cheese, and everyone would want to buy. It's like €2, not 20.
Yeah, so that's cool, or maybe something like this, or to grow some like a special crop, or to have more chickens and sell the eggs, or I don't know, just something to make it more like a functioning or working farm
with more volunteers.
I don't think we need more volunteers. I think we just need more organization.
Yes. Okay. And last question, like there was this whole question about the terms sustainability and so on. So minimalism, consumerism, but we went through them, and only like if you could explain how you understand sustainability. What is it? Because people here are speaking about sustainable life and
yeah. I think sustainability is no, it's like giving the same amount that you take, not taking more than you give.
And maybe doing something.
I don't think it's possible in right now in this society. Even if you live here in the village, we are all consuming and taking more than we can give it back to the earth. Yeah, but like ideally,
ideally and practically.
Practically, like I just no, I don't know of anyone or any story of anyone who does this. Maybe if you went and isolated yourself in a cottage and
totally off grid,
and you were like hunting, but it's like what, like if you want to, you couldn't eat bread or drink coffee, or like how would you get salt? I mean, it's how to be sustainable in this day and age. I don't think it's completely possible, but I think it's really good to try and to do as much as you can, and like that we are always like making. The more we try, like the closer we can get, and eventually, I think we will be forced to become sustainable, because I think we will use like too many resources from the earth, and like fossil fuel will like run out, and I don't know, maybe they will discover some new technology, but I think eventually a lot of people will be like more forced into this kind of lifestyle.
Forced.
It could happen. And maybe I read too much sci-fi.
maybe no. I also have similar ideas, but really like. Okay, and when you said forced, the last term is power, and because in the PhD I would like to write about power, like in a way, how is the power going on in a community sense? Like, if here we have community in Zashka, like who has the power? What are the power relations? If you have any
interesting
observations.
Question. For me, like when I first came, it was super unclear, like the roles of the people, kind of like who was doing what, who was getting paid, and who was paying. Even this,
who is paying is.
This took me like months to figure out. Like it really wasn't clear, like because no one really explains it. So you just like paying attention, you eventually like figure it out. No.
And from your experience, what is how is it? Not with concrete names, but just how is the whole
I don't
thing?
know. For me, here at least, this thing about paying, that some people get paid to be here. I mean, of course, it's no secret or something that the EVS volunteers get paid by the European.
Yes, 250 euro. They say it all. Like
it's normal for EVS.
Yes, and also the community gets some money from European Commission.
Yeah, and also some individual people get a salary for doing, like, for being here.
From, for example, the money of volunteers like me.
Exactly.
Yeah, like it's
exactly.
Well, I think we are done actually.
Yeah.
One thing that we didn't discuss: what are the problems in Zaježova, like as a community, not only in Sekir, but
maybe I don't know that actually. Maybe I haven't been involved enough to be able to
so
answer
you
this.
don't interact much with the other people apart from Sekir and Podsekir?
Yeah, not really. I would like to. There's a bit of a language barrier, maybe.
They speak English more or less.
No.
Maybe I experienced that most of the women somehow.
It depends. It depends. Yeah, but most of them. And yeah.
And what are the?
Yeah, I would like to be. I'm coming and going too much, maybe.
Yeah.
I stay here like more.
So you haven't observed some particular problems?
I hear about stuff, but I feel like really removed from it at this point. And here the thing is just about maybe the power dynamics here in Sakir are a tricky topic.
Yeah. They've been for 20 years, so
yeah, I think it's quite a tricky thing. Yeah.